I'd like to call the March 10th meeting to order. Please rise for the prayer and the pledge.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just ask that you be with us tonight as we do the business for the village of Elsie. And we do it to your glory and honor to benefit the village. We ask this in your son's name.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For time. Just for time.
Anybody else?
Just time. Just time. Any corrections, additions, or deletions to this evening agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Support.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the agenda as wrote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to approve the minutes from February 10th, 2026.
Support.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Presentation of the bills. This one's kind of brutal. Presentation of the bills, motion to approve $128,478.11. That does have the Bobcat.
Yeah. That's
So.
one check. Correct.
One check.
I'll motion to pay the bills in the amount of $128,470.11.
Support.
Motion's been made and seconded to pay the bills in the amount of $128,478.11. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Special report. Miss Nicole Ficus cannot make it, so we'll skip past that one. And park update by Mr. Ed White. And I would like to point out the fact that the park improvement plan that is in the Bible is due to Mr. Ed White.
Agreed.
So
So,
he did an excellent job with it.
It's amazing.
I went on the DNR website, found out what they need for park plan. You had that all in front of you. Checks off all the boxes for the requirement. I also have a couple of, maybe 8 pages in the back that deal with U.S. Department of Agriculture soil samples for where I would like to put some of the trails. Right now the sledding hill is on private property, so I started looking for an alternate sledding hill back there. And I sent pictures to Mark Help and Destiny of a mound of tires, hundreds of tires back there that looks like it was a dump back in the 50s. It's bad. Appliances, all kinds of stuff. So I went online and found an Eagle grant that covers the cost of a semi and a recycling place to come drop it off and refill it. I have to get some more photos to submit for that, but I have the majority of the grant application filled out. That would be the first step, and even if I can't manage to do trails or whatever back there, that should probably be done regardless, because it's nasty.
Where's that at? How far back?
If you go to the edge of the leaf pile, just look over the hill, there's.
So.
I knew it was back there. I thought it was under those 2 ball diamonds at the back.
So
We dumped stuff there when I was a kid.
I talked to
pick it up.
Yeah.
a couple of people.
We're gonna need you to back that truck right up over there.
It wasn't the 50s. It wasn't the 50s.
So can we
1850s?
just roll them tires into the river like a mussel habitat?
Don't you do that.
Support the dam.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. That'd be
But I also thought at that time, if we can get the grant to cover the semi, get the recyclers to drop it off at a set period of time, based probably on their schedule, that would create an opportunity for the residents of Elsie. I'm thinking of certain houses in particular that have mountains of tires around them and piles of junk. Just a way to help out, and I mean, we'd have to stack them in the trailer, but I think it's similar to.
We don't stack tires. Jason will lace them in there.
Okay,
So, protect guy.
thanks for volunteering.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't gonna say.
Once we do that too, if we don't get that grant, I I bet I could make some phone calls, and I bet my company would probably get some trucks and trailers back
Yeah,
there.
I mean,
Because
anything,
the company we work for recycling, I've got a pretty good rapport with them.
okay.
So they're out of Indiana, so they might even, I could probably get a trailer.
Middlebury, Indiana?
What's that?
Middlebury, Indiana?
I don't know if it's Middlebury.
When I
What's
was looking on the list of approved vendors for the tire recycling, I saw Middlebury and I thought,
N-Tech is their name,
I think
E-N-Tech.
it was the same one.
Yep, probably is. We've got the best rapport with them. I can make a phone call, have a trailer the next day. So,
Yeah, like I said, where I thought the sledding hill was gonna be is private property, so.
but how many I'm gonna have to go back there.
I'd say between 200 and 300,
Really?
yeah, quite a bit of larger tractor tires.
Okay.
I don't think
So
getting
the
out
tractor
there,
tires, we probably have to sawzall in half. The PLTs are no big deal.
yeah, and they're probably all bias wise over
Oh,
there.
sure.
Yeah, I'll keep scouting back there to find a route that doesn't encroach on the neighbors, to keep everybody happy. And then I'm looking forward to warmer weather so I can finish the courts.
Those are in the dirt too,
Yeah.
ain't they?
I didn't even know these were still back.
Yeah, we're gonna,
Manpower.
yeah, we're gonna need the.
We got a bobcat.
Yeah, we got about that.
I don't know if that would be a good idea with the
trees.
vegetation and the trees, but,
Yeah,
my plan was to have a rope and a hook and somebody with a side-by-side or a quad up by the leaf pile and just hook on 10 or 15 tires at a time and drag them up the hill.
Golf cart. You got that, I got you.
I guess that was
That
that
would be-
winch.
So, that's my plan.
You
but
probably
there's
get a brush
still
truck back there.
things in motion.
Does brush truck run?
Yes, sir. Were you the cops? That's what the questions.
Only thing that I wanted to point out in the part portion of it, there was some path stuff, the trail side of it, that I noticed. I don't know, I'm assuming that, so
Where you at?
I am 4.3.
I have that all online too, so it can be posted if
So-
necessary.
They're talking about the Fred Meyer Trail
Yes.
between Clinton, Ionia, and Shiawassee County Trail. Okay, that's the trail that runs through Ovid, correct?
Open. But I was hoping by mentioning that, that might help us a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
With, I mean, the.
Being
well-known
close.
nature, but yes, within 5 miles.
Gotcha.
And I know myself, I will go down to Ovid Park, go up and down the trail.
Right.
I would rather do that here in Elsie, so not Traxel Park.
Sure.
But it helps us.
Receive something.
Yeah, get something.
Yeah. That was the only thing I had a question about that I saw. Other than that, it's phenomenal.
This is amazing.
Any questions?
Thank you.
I do like the budgetary side of it as well,
Mhm.
so.
I did include the preliminary estimates I got for the walking path. Those are prioritized, I think, within the next year or two, hoping that I can apply for some other grants to cover that.
There was a question, I guess, the dollar amount that you had quoted.
Oh, yeah.
For the asphalt.
For the asphalt,
Yes,
is that like solid set in stone? Is that an estimate?
it was an estimate, I called them, I sent them Google Earth photos with the rough satellite measurements, which was just short of 1 kilometer. They told me to go over it, scrape it off, do an 1.5 inch cap, fix the cracks, pull out any tree roots, which I don't think there will be any. That was, I think, $48,000, and it was about $65,000 for a complete replacement, which is way out of my budget of 0, but I will continue to try.
So if they get into it, I think the 46,000 that we have in the budget right now currently, I think would cover it. Because if they're not pulling tree roots, they might work with us once they get on site.
Yeah.
So,
And we can have another company take a look at it too when we have your,
Called 3 companies and only 2 got back with me.
okay. Yeah, we're supposed to have somebody coming in to take a look at roads, so,
and water mains.
yeah, maybe we'll have them slide over there too. But anyways, the 46,000 is in the budget. We were able to use Act 51 money for that. So,
Well, and on that too, just people doing the streets, they might cut a little bit of a deal for doing extra.
Just for
Yeah.
being here.
Yeah.
So, now that we don't like your proposal, we love your proposal,
It's just numbers.
as long as it gets done.
There is language in there for yearly review, so anything can change at any time. We're not locked into that for the 5-year period. I couldn't find anything on a previous park plan, so I just started from scratch.
Dynamic calendar.
Fantastic.
Thank you for doing that.
Appreciate
I hear epic.
it.
All right, any questions for Ed? Any comments? Besides, thank you. Thanks for the hard work.
Yes, very much, thank you.
Clinton area ambulance update with Corey Witt.
Yep. I believe.
Yep.
In your packet here, you'll see the budget for Clinton area ambulance. If you've looked over that, we just need to approve that and have the approval signed and submitted. The budget for Clinton area is, I'm gonna be honest, I really thought the village of Elsie was tight, but, Clinton area is even tighter. Yeah, there were, a lot of cuts that had to happen in that budget, a lot of pay reductions that were took. The assistant director actually resigned from his position, which helped the budget quite a bit. I don't know what else more to say about it. There has been some traction at the county level for county funding for countywide EMS. It is my understanding that the thought process behind it would be essentially just the county collects money and distributes it accordingly. There's been some steps put forward to look into Clinton area possibly taking over the whole county. Whether that will happen or not, still up in the air.
It's a feasibility study. They applied for a grant to conduct a feasibility study.
Correct.
It's not gonna be a quick fix.
No, and it is not. But if we can procure countywide funding, that would be a huge benefit to all EMS personnel, including fire as well. They would also get a chunk of that, which would help. I guess, I don't know necessarily that it would help tax-wise for the residents, because you're essentially gonna knock this down a little bit, but you're gonna pay it still over here. But it's coming from the county level as opposed to, and the funding would be more secure for entities like Clinton area, for example.
So what did they do with the per cap? I didn't see that in here, but I didn't
That
look
is
at it.
going up to 17, correct?
So we will, Plain Township will have to make a hard decision tomorrow. The budget's based on 17.
Yeah.
They need 22. And it's whether we decide to pay them the 22, and then they can't come back. I mean, they're not gonna be able to come back during the rest of the year for more. They just can't. Or do we give them 17, knowing they're gonna come back for more? And I know what my opinion is, and do it. Draft one check and we move forward. We're really gonna have to look at our millage rate.
When does that come up again?
That, again, will be discussed tomorrow night, whether it's, we're gonna wait until 2028, or whether we can't, and we have to go in 2026.
As far as Duplain's concerned with their village, there's a whole lot of things up in the air right now. One, the fire department switching to an authority,
And they're going for 1.5 mil across the board.
and I hadn't heard that yet. So
Yeah.
the number they charge each entity drastically affects that millage. The amount of money, let's be honest, we all know things, they said it last night in the water meeting, things aren't getting cheaper. But for whatever reason, EMS tends to, I don't wanna say get pushed aside, but they're expected to grow at a slower rate, and they just can't. You can't sustain that way. There's a lot of other ambulances in the state that are charging almost double what Clinton area does.
So are they becoming an authority then? Has that been?
Fire department?
The fire
They'll vote
department?
on that
They-
tomorrow.
I thought they already did vote on it.
The township, now we have to go.
Oh, yeah, you guys, everybody has to approve it, correct. They voted to go in the direction of the authority. They have to get approval from the
Because if they become an authority, they control what they write, do they not?
No, that has been taken out of, they can't levy taxes. That was removed from both Clinton area articles and
Correct.
fire.
Because that was my understanding was if they became an authority, they could come to the township and say, no, we want this is what we need. So,
And there, we won't be able to levy, but that's where it comes down to that, we're at 1.75 mils. We're fortunate compared to the other 11 general law townships. There are only 3 of us that levy an EMS millage. And 10 years ago, we reduced that millage from 2.5 mils to 1.5, and then we increased a quarter of a mil. When the ambulance went out of business, we could reduce. Well, now we're in a position that as we look forward, to be honest, next year, I believe Clinton area is going to come at us with $31 per capita. 1.7.
The way the projections are going, that's not, while it would really suck for this area, and as much as I hate to say it, that is not unreasonable. Would you agree?
I have mixed emotions at this point. There's got to be a better way to fund EMS. This is not sustainable.
Agreed.
Small communities cannot keep doing this.
Right.
But going with let's say a 1 mil countywide, that means also consolidating fire departments would be one model.
We decided that wouldn't be the case.
Well, they're not, again, they're looking at feasibility. Who
Right.
knows what that model in the end is going to look
at the end, it could come down to one fire department,
Correct.
one EMS service
like. With satellites.
with
Well,
satellites.
well,
But it's all controlled by,
While I don't disagree with that, it could not come to that
That
also.
too.
So it can go either way, so that's why the feasibility study is important, to come up with the plan, so you have the plan. Do I wanna see all the fire departments consolidated? Not a frickin' chance. I can't stomach the thought of that. Do I wanna see the ambulance go that route? 1000%. I think it would be fantastic to have Clinton area ambulance, countywide ambulance service here.
Again, it's just, there's so much up in the air. So don't ask me how I feel one way or another. I've been through an ambulance service going out of business. It's not fun. It's not great. Do I like corporate? Not necessarily. But again, we have to look at taxpayers and how far can we go?
it's just like we talked yesterday, it's the small municipalities that feel the brunt of it.
We do. And
So,
And if you look statewide at EMS villages, they are failing folks. So if we decide we haven't, on a millage increase and it goes down, then where are we at? Because certainly our general fund is not going to be able to suck it up.
right.
And
Not
most
that
of you
big
know
of a change.
Duplain's in a really awkward position. We look very financially sound, but we have a dam down there. And the dam. And the bottom line is we can't commit a whole lot until that project is complete. Because we think we've got our match covered. Because we're playing the grant game very, very well. And managing it very well. But it just takes one more year to move muscles. And our budget is blown up. Because as those delays come, the costs go up.
Well, and like I was starting to touch on a little bit with the per capita, $17, if you look at all other ambulance services, is extremely low. $22 is extremely low. $31 is on the lower side of standardized. So that's what I mean by it's just not the cost that it takes to run these EMS departments is extremely underfunded and the cost is extremely higher than it's ever been. You know, you can go buy a chainsaw, for example, you know, you go buy a chainsaw, right? If you go out to the hardware store and buy a chainsaw, it's gonna cost you a few $100s. You slap a fire sticker on the side of that, same exact chainsaw,
I think it was.
yeah, same exact chainsaw, but put a fire sticker on there. Now it's a $1,200 chainsaw.
Well, and look at your staffing. Look at the education that it takes to get the certifications to even be able to do it.
So we have what, 3 in school right now?
Yeah.
Four?
So,
3?
And on top of that, on the fire side, you know, there's fire departments not even getting paid.
Marion Springs.
Marion Springs doesn't get paid at all. You know, our fire department gets paid minimum wage to go in and save your families, to go save your kids. You know, these medics are, I don't wanna say, they're not making a ton of money by any means. They're not doing it for the money, but they're doing it and they're sticking around and they're sticking with it. But it's hard to retain people too when you don't pay them. You guys know. So,
right,
where the
just having
money,
that discussion.
where the money's gonna come from in the future, we don't know, but we're really hoping something happens. And another thing that really hurt us last year too was the call volume was down, which is good and bad, however you look at it. It's good for public safety, it's fantastic, but this is sustained business.
And,
Because we still have to have that staff on.
And Clinton area ambulance basically lost all transfers coming out of the hospital. Because they
Eaton's
were almost-
taking that over. Eaton's taking that over because they're I don't want to say contracted, that's not the right word, but
Well, and then you
they
have
work with.
people, the percentage of people deciding to drive themselves to an emergency room is growing because of the added healthcare costs. That's a reality.
Cost of an ambulance is,
Well, and not only that, but coverage costs in itself. I mean,
I believe, I don't remember, they did a study, and I can't remember how much exactly it was. It cost to run a call. Do you remember what that number was? Was it
You know,
like,
I don't, but when Elsie ambulance was here, Medicare, Medicaid, we anticipate 80% of what we will we would get. Clinton area is lucky to get 20 to 30%.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, the costs have gone up and, the reimbursement rate has gone down. And we just, again, it's sustainability, and how does that become sustainable? And taxpayers want good emergency services, there's no doubt. But their pocketbooks are tight right now too, and with the anticipation that gas at the end of the summer could be $5 a gallon. I mean, it's gonna be hard to get millages passed. And I hate I've been looking at numbers like you have for the last 2 weeks. That's all I'm doing is figuring numbers and refiguring. And how do we make this all happen? And it was getting tighter and tighter, for sure.
But with the budget, there was a lot of cuts that were added to it to try to make that work. Per capita is gonna go, this is projected on $17, like Dawn said, realistically, they need 22.
And that would give them a little bit of a buffer.
My opinion, I think they run with the 17 and come back later. I think it could be a cost savings in the long run.
And the others where Corey and I probably don't agree. So.
well, I
and
need a
again,
motion, I need a motion to approve the Clinton area ambulance service budget.
I'll motion to approve the Clinton area ambulance service budget.
Motion's been made and seconded to support. All in favor?
Aye.
Is that a roll call?
It is. Yep. Opposed? And then we'll roll call it.
Jason Freeman.
Aye.
Dorothy Romano. Todd Garrett.
Aye.
Mark Huff.
Aye.
Corey Wood.
Aye.
Sam Brink.
Aye.
Joe Underside.
I'm leaning for. Motion carried.
If you had signed it and give that to me today, I was so appreciative.
Oh.
I'm writing in mine too.
Yeah, so I can,
Yes.
Or you can print it right there.
oh, perfect.
He's got it right here.
No, it's missing half.
They don't care as long as it's got a.
Did your dog
Got his
eat it?
signature.
Feed it to the dog?
Or maybe I will copy it for you before you. Or maybe edit it to before your request.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Under President Village Business Update, at this point, I don't have any updates other than the budget. Just wanna thank Destiny and Steve for doing such a good job.
You guys have done
So.
fantastic.
Thank
So,
you.
she went to battle with Steve to squeeze some pennies, so.
My employees appreciate it.
Shaking down for his real money.
She was holding the pipe.
He was holding, yeah, she's holding him upside down, right? Yeah. Sure of it.
Clerk treasurer's report.
Close to the Bible.
It's just past-
Yeah, keep your comment.
Yep. There it is. Yep. All right.
Alright. I've continued my training through BSNA webinars and training with Village Manager Destiny Bryce and Financial Controller Steve Adair. David Finch and I have started to formulate a plan to make the Village of Elsie's website, WCAG, which is Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, and ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, compliant by our deadline of April 2027. There are expected to be many changes made to the website before this deadline. There's already been some changes happening. Things are kind of going to the same pages and trying to compile things so we can kind of reformat the whole page. There's a lot of details in the compliance, so we're going to navigate all of that. BSNA Online has notified us that starting on April 1st, 2026, the cost for consumers to access detailed record searches, so like property searches on BSNA, will increase by 60 cents per search. Currently on BSNA Online, the owner of the record can access the property record free of charge with an account. The pay-as-you-go option is currently $6.35, and that will be increasing to 60 cents. Utility bills are due tomorrow. Any accounts that are past due above a certain threshold will be sent shut-off notices before the next billing cycle. Anyone who is past due can come into the village office during normal business hours to fill out a payment agreement form. The next bills will be sent out around the middle of April and will be due sometime in May. The water meter appointments are continuing. I sent 187 notices out through the utility bills last month, and I think we made almost 40 appointments since February 21st. That's all I have.
I just want to go on record and thank Mr. Finch for giving us a hand. So, some of this backside work that he's doing for us is going to become, if we were paying for these services, it'd be extreme. So
Yeah.
I think we all owe him a thank you. So,
Takes a village.
takes a village.
I'll motion to accept the clerk report.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Bye.
Opposed?
We might have
Motion
to
carried.
change the slogan on the sign when you come into town.
I would
So,
love to. I think it's corny.
What, it takes a village?
It takes a village.
Takes a
That would
village.
be cool.
I think we should change it. Takes a village.
Can't afford it.
yeah, it's in, no, it's all good. I
It's all
don't do
good.
a treasurer's part. Oh, there's mine.
Steve.
Next.
Right.
Police report.
No,
Treasurer's report, it was kind of all blanketed in one, so I just need a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the treasurer's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Police report.
This guy's got two, that's why.
Oh, I got your
Check mine.
right here.
I'm gonna look up, maybe she didn't like me anymore.
Well, you should like it less.
The Elsie Police Department conducted 5 traffic stops, resulting in 1 citation this month. Complaints have decreased from last month, with a total of 35 calls for service in the village of Elsie. A total of 138 hours were worked at the Elsie Police Department this month. Police activity for the month of February consisted of traffic enforcement, motor carrier enforcement, 1 domestic, 1 assist to other agency, 1 MDOP at the church, 1 DNR complaint, 1 follow-up investigation, and of course, community policing at E9. The Elsie Police Department looks forward to spring firearm qualifications as well as fulfilling MCO's CPE training hours. We have also assisted Maple Rapids with organizing an ORV training course. For the youth interested in ORV safety certificates, this class is sponsored by the Michigan DNR and will be conducted at the Maple Rapids Community Center in the near future. 2026 golf cart permits have been ordered, and they will hopefully be available prior to March 31st of 2026. Bicycle registrations and gun locks are readily available at the office. Clinton County Central Dispatch will begin tornado testing starting April 4th, 2026, beginning at 12 p.m. Monthly tornado testing will start in May on the first Saturday of each month and will continue through the month of October. Code and zoning enforcement has continued. I'm currently working on approximately 8 code enforcement violations. 4 certified letters have been submitted. As previously discussed, I would like to set another ordinance committee meeting at the end of this month. So the sooner we can get going on changing these ordinances for stricter enforcement, the better. As always,
I got a quick question.
yes, sir.
And not so much for you, addressing the tornado, more so for you. With the fire department not being there anymore, who would handle that? When they do the testing and stuff, they gotta, sometimes
Someone
they
has to
can,
make sure it went off.
yeah,
I really don't know.
okay. I will get with Jason about that, figure out how we're gonna do that before that happens.
I think it would be great for one of our council members who would also a firefighter to step up.
Maybe the one who brought it forward.
I said I'll get with Jason about that, but if that's the case, if we have to handle it, just a heads up, we'll probably need access to the building to do that. Because all the stuff is right inside there. Not sure.
You guys can all have access to the building.
It's yours.
Just punch in the code. As always, looking for another great month here in Elsie.
Good job.
Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
Just on a side note, so Maple Rapids actually requested her to put the ORV class on, and they're grateful that she did step forward and actually is doing that, so. Yeah, that's
And-
great.
And right now, just so everybody knows, we're looking at, the contract with Maple Rapids. It's getting expensive for them. They're a small village, and obviously we are too. I don't have a $10 million budget like Clinton County Sheriff's Office. So, I charged them $85 for their contract, and that was 1 8-hour shift per week. So 4 weeks a month. So we dropped it down to 16 hours per month. But we are actually looking at offsetting the cost of that contract with me being sworn in and enforcing their local ordinances for their things, code enforcement, zoning, things that they need a police officer to do. So if they swear me in, that would help them generate revenue on their citations, which will then in fact offset the cost of the contract. Again, thinking outside the box. So we are going to vote on, or they are rather gonna vote on that next meeting. So
So
they
you
have
just
to,
get a sticky note to go underneath your LC badge.
yeah. So,
Little rivers flowing through.
so basically they would be paying Elsie for the contract, but I would be writing the tickets under Maple Rapids so that they could, you know, recoup a little
Generate
bit of money.
revenue, yeah.
You know, and that's the thing, I mean, people don't realize, we have a part-time police department. We do not have the money for a full-time police department. It's not there. It hasn't been there since I started working here. We're not gonna have that type of money.
Hopefully someday we will.
As long as we
If
fix
we
the
tighten that
water,
belt and keep that belt tight.
as long as we fix our water infrastructure, that's number one priority. It really is number one priority.
Need a motion to approve the police report.
I make a motion to approve said report.
I'll sorry.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carried.
Me and Sam.
Manager / zoning / code enforcement
Okay.
/
Also,
I didn't get one the other time.
All right, manager's report. I've been working diligently on CDS submissions. Congressionally direct spending. Applications which direct specific amounts of money to state and local government for a specific project at a specific location. These CDS submissions would potentially have an impact on the Elsie water infrastructure project if we were allowed to absorb some of this funding. It would limit the cost of the DWSRF, which would lower the water rate increases over the next years to come. We have applied for CDS through Congressman Tom Barrett's office, and by the end of the week, I hope to have the CDS submission completed for Senator Kelly's office. We have also received several letters of support for this project, including Clinton County Board of Commissioners, Ovid Elsie School Superintendent Mark Horak, Mid-Michigan Health Department, Clinton County Catalyst, and Lansing Economical Area Partnership. As indicated last month, our FDCVT grant, financially distressed cities, villages, and townships, have all been submitted to Treasury. I think I touched base on this last month. They asked us to drop the price. The labor was pretty significant with the grant. There's a gentleman that installs fire hydrants in Maple Rapids, lives in Maple Rapids. He gave us a quote for this. But instead of the 41 fire hydrants, it would be dropped down to 27 fire hydrants. And the 27, how I got that number was, those are the ones that are no longer made anymore. It's very hard to get parts for them, and they've literally been installed in 1937.
As we pull them, we'll sell them.
What?
As we pull them, we'll sell them.
Oh, yeah, the firefighters.
Online. People want to buy hydrants.
They do.
It's crazy.
I've also been working on the Michigan Infrastructure Council Asset Management Program, which is pretty intense as learning modules are scheduled with assignments and tests in order to become certified in this program. This program has educated me a lot in asset management and will be very beneficial to our asset management plan moving forward, which will assist us in capital improvement projects and structural grants in the near future. Steve Adair and I have had many budget discussions regarding fiscal year 2027. We are truly attempting to reach our goal of a healthy fund balance prior to anticipation of fiscal year 28 or fiscal year of 29. As many of you met Joe from Rural Water last night, there were many hours that went into the rate study in order to keep the numbers as low as possible for the sake of our community. As discussed, we've had our budget committee meeting held on February 25th, 2026, where additional numbers and plans moving forward here in Elsie were discussed, as well as where we currently are at in our DEP, like we discussed in our budget hearing. I feel the office is running rather smoothly, and everyone has a job, and they complete the tasks as expected. I feel we have had an excellent team in place and will continue to make significant progress as things move forward in a positive manner. I've reached out to Granger since the Dairy Festival has been moved to June 18th, 19th, and 20th in hopes of changing large item pickup date, as we always do this the weekend after Dairy Festival. So after people do their garage sales, if they want to throw things out, they always have that availability the next weekend. Granger advised that they wouldn't be able to do it the next weekend, that Friday, but they would be able to do it that next Saturday. So as of right now, I'm asking for approval to change that.
To the Saturday after.
So Saturday,
Yeah.
27,
Yeah, 27th or 28th,
whichever it is.
whatever date it is. I don't think I have it.
The 27th,
The 27th.
June 27th.
Do you need a motion?
We'll just add it to the action steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I just didn't want to forget that. I have been approached regarding a grant sponsored by Eagle. Ed White and I discussed that. I gave him the information that he needed. Again, he's been phenomenal. Like I said, it takes a true village. The park plan is amazing. Hopefully we can get that submitted and approved. That will help us out with other DNR grants. If we can clean up the tires, that's a big deal. If we can clean up the town with the strict ordinance amendments, that's a big deal. Just one foot in front of the other, trying to move on in a positive manner. I'm sure I missed some things this month. It's been an extremely busy month here in the village of Elsie, but we've had a lot of important things that we've needed to accomplish. Certain certain dates, and they've all, for some reason, have fallen in March. The budget was a huge deal, took me a long time. I'm very passionate about getting Elsie on the right track, and we're gonna do it. So, right, Chris, we're gonna do it?
Yep.
Okay. So, as always, looking for another great month here in Elsie.
I make a motion to approve the village manager report.
Second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to support the manager's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. DPW report.
All right. On February 4th, I had my triannual, I guess I'll call it, every 3 years. My district engineer comes out, goes through my paperwork and goes up to lagoons and, when I do a discharge, I gotta have somebody to monitor how many gallons I'm pumping or pushing out. And that's where the Vega system come in. The current one's been in there since 2001 when that system was put in, and it's no longer working. So that's one thing she's gonna put in the letter, so I gotta have that. I think back in 22 or 23, we ordered 2 dogs up there, and they were $1,700 a piece. I have 14 more I need to fix.
What do they run right now?
I didn't get a quote, but I'm guessing around 1,900 by the time the road will increase. So I think all the guys in Destiny were talking about was like 26,000 or 16,000 to do all that. I know that won't cost me overnight in this year, but just an FYI. She did comment about a discharge structure. It always has water going into it. We're assuming it's groundwater, but it's getting into our pipe. And I think 30 feet back to the north is really saving water. So I'm guessing it's right there, but that's a big 24 inch try to get a pipe. I gotta make up and see the camera at first and see if I gotta fix that. So figure out how to fix it, I guess I should say. But
Is that an old galvanized pipe?
no, it's a plastic pipe. It looks, according to the coming out, that's what it is. So, other than that, there's nothing much. The vegetation growth up there. I got last year our sprayer broke. We're going to spray the weeds. So they're higher than 6 inches, which the permit says 6 inches, no more than 6 inches. So she'll bring that up.
Did we get that fixed at the tail end of the year, didn't we?
No, there's a tail end we just put away. I think that was it. For that. Yeah,
And those-
that's it for that.
Those 14 valves aren't included in the valves that we want to change here in town, correct?
No, that's super.
Different.
This is one.
These are the valves that we kind of touched on yesterday with Joe.
And that's just
Not
the,
like-
that's just the stem, that's not the actual valve. The valve's good, it's just a stem that goes down the tube. And that's $2,000 a piece. It's got it down.
Jumping back to the streets for a sec. Repairing repairing West Pine Street between the school and the gas station. Are they repaving that completely? Is that what we were doing?
No,
Or are they just repairing?
what we're looking to do is, because it's very sunk in and
Yeah.
everything's pretty
It's-
bumpy. Last year,
Ken
Ken Harris said, don't touch it, because we're gonna be digging that up.
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't been done yet, so I feel like I gotta do something with it. So, I wanna get a quote to fix that, fix all the break areas and crack seal. East Pine.
East Pine.
You know, after you put new asphalt down, if it's not the next year, the following year, you need to go back and seal the cracks. You end up with what we got now for all over the place, so.
Well, that was my ask, because my thought was, we're planning on paving that, we might better hold off, because they're gonna have all kinds of heavy equipment and stuff running around there, tearing it right up as soon as we paved it, so there's no point in doing it.
That's why we're just gonna patch it, because that road's sinking really good right there. And I got a camera that, figure out how that's sinking too.
What do you mean?
Well, it's all based upon funding for Ken. Ken's stalled.
Right, I thought they had said before though that he was,
They're working at getting the money, but it's not necessarily there yet.
that's why they came to the meeting and,
Right.
you know.
No, I got that, I guess my impression from that meeting was, don't be alarmed, it's just gonna take longer than it's supposed to, was my impression, because not that it was
Yeah, I think that's how. I
a
mean,
possibility.
I think that's how it will go.
he's got a ton of money invested in that thing.
Oh, out of pocket.
He'll make it happen, I think.
Sorry, I didn't mean that.
Sorry, Corey, thank you.
Good.
The Eagle Island lift station, we got the second float in there, everything's working fine now there. The South Oak lift station, still no motors, it's supposed to be here anytime, from what the guy told me. It's getting to be about 2 hours a day, if you down there to pump it. That's why at the bottom, they said we either change the meter to pump in the lift station. Actually, meters picked up from the last council meeting I was at, and this last month. But I don't know, I think we're, altogether, we're at about like 122, 123 since we started this. According to my the new Neptune thing, I think we're at like 180 more to go. So we're slowly getting there. Because what we're doing is there's 2-a-day schedule with trying to throw something in. In fact, yesterday we did 4. You know, we one lady come in and say, hey, can I change your meter? Yeah, come on over. So we went over and changed the meter, and another guy called and said, yeah, I can send them right over. So we ended up getting 4 done Monday. Yeah, Monday. But
We have a deadline for those still.
Mhm.
How are we looking at that deadline?
I think we'll hit it.
It'll be okay.
yeah,
I mean, we're still waiting for the state to give us our 70%. They owe us a lot of money, so,
yeah, well, the deadline,
yeah, exactly, that's what I was saying.
deadline don't mean nothing to them, we don't money. Everything else seems to be working so far. We're slowly filling in potholes in between pumping the station and new ones.
So backhoe is still not running. Are we
Still not running.
just gonna post it online, sell it as it sits? Is that what the intentions are?
I think she,
Yeah.
a bid sheet. We
I-
were making,
Yeah, I completed a bid sheet, so we're just gonna do it like we did the financial audit, come to the office. We throw that thing online and it's not running, we're not gonna get it.
Gonna do a sealed bids.
Just do the sealed bids and set the reserve at 10,000 like we discussed.
we spent
Okay.
numerous hours trying to get it started. We're not using it.
What about the big truck? We still intending on towing that to Maple?
Yes.
Okay.
Just waiting for him to get a little bit of time.
Other than that, I think I don't have.
I'll motion to accept the DPW report.
Support.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the DPW report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. On to action steps. Need a motion to start approval of budget fiscal year 2027.
I'll make a motion to start approval and so moved.
Budget for fiscal year.
I so moved. Budget year, fiscal year 2027.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the budget for fiscal year 2027. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Roll call.
Motion carried, but we're gonna do a roll call.
Jason Freeman,
Aye?
Dorothy Ornelas,
Aye.
Todd Carroll.
Aye.
Mark Howell.
Aye.
Corey Webb.
Aye.
Sam Brink.
Aye.
Joe Underside.
All right.
You're not funny, Joe.
He's staring at you. He's giving you the eyes. Motion's been carried. Resolution 26-0001. This is for the employee healthcare benefit option for the 80-20 percentage. This is what we touched on earlier. It was a minimal increase. So by Chris stepping back, it actually helped. So
I'll motion to accept the 26 001 resolution. Second. 001.
With appreciation to Tori.
Yeah.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I don't think we need that one, do we, for a roll call?
Which one?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
The
Jason Freeman,
resolution.
Aye.
Dorothy Ornelas,
Aye.
Todd Carroll,
Aye.
Mark Howell,
Aye.
Corey Webb,
Aye.
Sam Frank,
Aye.
Joe
Aye.
Underside. I saw.
Number 3 is the MERS defined benefit amendment. This is for vesting of Destiny's retirement. Destiny is not taking a pay increase for the year. This, in my eyes, is the minimal increase that we can give her for making the difference in the dual role that she's actually saving us per year. So it's gonna shake out to what, 6,000?
Yeah, I am taking the 2%. Yeah, I am taking.
Are you getting the 2%?
Yeah.
I lied, she's taking 2%.
Well,
It's in the budget.
It's in the budget.
when we started this plan, we had 2 people on it, the village manager and the police chief. Okay, we opened up the plan. At that time, the pension plan was 139% funded. I'm the only new person on the plan, okay? And with everything going on in little, good old crazy E-Town, I do not want to lose my retirement, especially how hard I've had to work and everything going on. So I am asking the council if they will change my vesting time from 10 years to 8 and to increase it to the 2.5% when I retire instead of the 1.75%.
What's the cost of that?
14%, yeah. Right now it's 13.75.
So it's a 0.25.
Well, it'll be a 7, all in all, to do the vesting from the 10 years to the 8 years. And to do the 1.75 to the 2.5, it will be a total increase of 7%. So it's going from 7% to 14.
But still, in my eyes, a savings.
I'm motion.
I second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the MERS defined benefit amendment. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Roll call vote, please, on that one as well.
Jason Freeman,
Aye.
Dorothy Ornelas,
Aye.
Todd Carroll.
Aye.
Mark Howell.
Aye.
Corey Webb.
Aye.
Sam Frank.
Aye.
Joe Underside.
Aye.
Throw it back.
All right,
I might
so
later.
before we do number 4, let's make a motion to change the garbage bulk pickup to the date of the 27th
So moved.
27th of what?
June.
June 27th.
Motion's been made and seconded to move trash pickup. All in favor?
Aye.
Who said it?
Joe.
Oh.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Joe.
Mr. Witt with his,
With his
Yeah,
what?
I did see that.
Did you see?
With his what?
Was it a
You saw the
Everyone
wings,
riled
right?
up.
You saw the
Yeah, I
wings.
did. You got all riled
You
up.
shot a wink at me
You want a
too.
shot at the champ?
Nope. Easy, Rainbow. Okay, so number 4.
I don't even know what that means.
This is for the action step of the library agreement. In your packet was a copy of the agreement as it was wrote. I'm assuming that this was on our desk when we got here, so I'm assuming it was also added from.
that out there.
So as it stated, October 12th, 1989 is when the library actually became legally established as the district library. So my opinion, moving on this portion of it, I will stand with the library. In my opinion, I think we need to leave the agreement the way it's wrote for another year. I know some don't like that idea, but it's 1 year and it's $1,500. I don't think we should move on the $2,500 that we were giving. And I did talk to Ann about that. I think if we move forward with the contract the way it's wrote, I think we should stand at the $1,500 and leave everything else as it's wrote. My opinion, if you look at the numbers of the library, yes, they do have a healthy budget, but look at how many people they also service.
The community depends on the library. I'm in agreement that we continue.
Depends on our first responders too, and
their payroll's half of what the library is. For 20 people.
Yeah, and like I said that before, like, we didn't help the fire department, can't afford it, help a lot, they can't afford to fix the backhoe. And with the budget that theirs is, if there's, what, about 60% of ours, about that?
It comes down to you guys, not us, so you guys have to figure this out. But I'm just telling you that, in my opinion, for the amount of people that go through those doors in a day-to-day situation, between the feed that they give to the public, yes, the food bank is where they're getting their food, I'm sure. But number two, they also do a lot of homeschoolers.
Yeah, I agree with that, but
But in the grand scheme of things, I totally agree with what you're saying, but they're not asking for $1,500 a month. They're asking for $1,500 for the year.
They're asking $110
There's a gigantic difference between,
But that's a lot more than $110 a month when you figure in the waters that they don't pay, the sewage that they don't pay.
those are all things that legally we can donate. So
So why are we donating it to the fire department?
we can address that too. That's up to you guys.
I get that libraries are important, but saving grandma is important too. So,
and if we do it, it's kind of one thing we can do, who do we choose to make exceptions for? You know, with clean sweep across the board, no, until we get everything all hunky-dory in the next couple years. We could maybe be able to revisit in a couple years, but I think now it's a clean no across the board, no matter who's asking. That's my.
So at the next meeting, when the fire board's changing theirs, are you prepared to tell them no as well?
For what?
Well, anything. What happens if they come to the next meeting and want $1,500 a month in our building back?
Well, then they would be, like, we pay them $1,500?
Correct.
No.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just giving scenarios.
I get that,
So.
but yeah, that's a hard no as well.
I don't feel that the landscaping's out of the question, but with everything else, I feel that that's about as far as we should go.
Jason?
I think Miss Ann would like to say
She's
something.
about to explode.
She's about to.
I'm sorry. When the district library was, made in 1989, I wasn't here in town. I didn't move in until 1981. So, I didn't have anything to do with it. Anyway, to form a district library, 2 municipalities have to form a library. The Village of Elsie and DuPain Township formed the district library. We are part of your government. We're part of your government. The fire department is not part of the government. We are part of your government. I don't know if you knew that or not. In the agreement becoming a district library, a municipality has to come up with an agreement with the library. That's why we have an agreement with DuPain Township and an agreement with the Village of Elsie. It has to be there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's part of Michigan Library District law. So if you want to rewrite it, you're going to have to get a lawyer, rewrite it, whatever. But I'm just saying, we have never asked for anything more than we did in 2004. It hasn't been addressed since that was last time the agreement was done. I think we've been more than gracious. We do a lot here. We are part of your government. We're a government entity. We're a nonprofit government entity as part of the Village of Elsie and part of the Township. So just letting you know that. I don't know if you were aware of that.
I don't think that's the case anymore.
Oh, it is.
It is.
Almost certainly
It's in all
is.
that.
But since you started leveraging a millage.
It doesn't matter because we're a separate entity also as well, even though we are part of the village and the DuPain Township. And we have to be a district library. We have to have 2 municipalities have an agreement with us to be a district library. Okay? And that was done in 1989. We are allowed to go for millage. We were down to, in 2012, when we got our millage, if we had not gotten any millage, we would have closed our doors in 4 years. We would not have had any money. We've been running since 1943 with no millage until 2012. 2012. And then I got millage. I had to. I'm sorry, I had to. And then when I saw how much money we were getting from the millage, it wasn't enough to even do payroll. let alone buy books or anything else. That's why I had to go for more millage. I got 2 mills. I don't plan on going for any more ever. That's why I did it the way I did it. I don't want to ever have to go for any more millage. This is all I'm going for. We're fine. But you need to be aware that for us to be a district library and be what we are part of Duplain Township and we are part of the Village of Elsie. And that's all there is to it. I mean, and there has to be an agreement. There has to be.
In the bylaws,
I-
we have to be involved.
I agree that there has to be an agreement. The agreement's fine. Does there have to be a monetary contribution?
No.
There just has to be an
agreement.
agreement between Duplain
Correct.
and the village and the
I
library.
don't have a
And it
problem
all
having
has
an
to be-
agreement.
It all has to be, you have to agree, you have to agree, we have to agree. It has to be a 3-way agreement.
I agree that I don't have a problem with an agreement whatsoever. Like, I have no problem doing the sidewalks, doing the landscaping, but right now, the funding aspect, I understand, it's only $15 or $1,500 for the year. But we're saying no across the board to everybody else. And to somebody that straps on a pack and walks into a burning building to save somebody, it's very disheartening that we're struggling to get a millage to pay for the EMS, and it's less than the millages for the library.
But to counter that, I am gonna comment. If you look at the percentage of voters that voted in the library millage compared to who voted in the fire, they got over 80%.
How
And
long ago?
We went at the same time, and ours keeps going down for EMS.
Correct,
I
but
can't explain it, but your voters supported this library.
But that number that you're talking about, the percentage, when you went for it at the same time, there were more that supported that?
Yes, more that supported the library than supported EMS millage. And that's your voters. And they're into perpetuity. They're not going for more millage.
I'm not going for.
No, and I understand that. The millage you have, you got it, super awesome. I'm excited that you got it. I'm excited that the library's here. I have nothing against this library. I love this library. I love all the good it does for the community. I have no problem writing an agreement. I feel that the money from the millage should be more than enough to sustain the library. You said it's only $1,500, right? What is only $1,500 gonna do for the library? Is it that big of a?
Well, I don't think it's gonna come down to the $1,500. What it's gonna come down to is, what I think they're trying to help you guys understand is we need to rewrite this agreement. Okay?
Absolutely.
So the 3 of us have to sit down, okay? Duplain, the village, and the library, sit down, okay? With a lawyer, have a new agreement wrote, okay?
You're gonna spend $15.
It's gonna have to be approved by all 3. Then it has to go back to legal to get it documented. Then we bring it to a meeting and we vote on it.
So it costs more for the lawyer.
It's gonna end up costing a lot.
Probably 4 or 5 times as much.
That's what you're gonna contribute. And by the way,
That's where I say it's only $1,500. So we just passed our budget, okay? We're gonna spend a quarter of what we budgeted for Dave to protect this agreement that's a $1,500 agreement. That's what I want you guys, I support the library, yes, but you need to know, long game, it's not worth it. Not right now. That's why I suggest we approve it for the year, and we reassess it. And I think that would be fair. We have to agree on it every year. So, and I think that by talking to Ann, they're more than willing to negotiate to the 1,500. At this point, let's do it for the year, and next year we reassess it. I don't think they're gonna ask for more money, but if we look at an agreement that is $1,500, okay, and it costs $6,000 to change the agreement, how many years are we paying that agreement? Does it justify? In my opinion, at this point, it does not. So, but I also support the library, and I would strongly suggest coming to one of their meetings so that you can hear how many people they've serviced in a one-day time even.
I absolutely hope nobody takes out of context what I'm saying. I 1,000% want this library here.
And I
There's
1000% want the EMS, your fire department.
Correct.
I mean, you're only a block away from me, I have a fire, I want you to come and put it out. You know, I've always voted for the fire department, because I was on the ambulance for 14 years. You know, I know what it's like to run up to the ambulance barn or fire barn and jump in the ambulance and go on a run, and, you know, in the middle of the night when your hair is all wet because you just jumped out of the shower.
Right.
I know what it's like. Yeah, I'm all for you guys too. I'm sorry that this stuff has happened to the village, and I wish it had never happened.
I agree with what you're saying as far as what the lawyer cost goes. So I guess as far as the 1,500 goes, it's the cheaper route, kind of between a rock and a hard spot. And
That's
that's
kind of kicking the can though, isn't it?
I was just
Rip
gonna
the
mention
Band-Aid
that,
off
it's, you know,
Right,
we
we agree.
go against next year, and then we decide we want out of it, yeah, or we got, I want out the monetary portion of it.
Well, next year's projected to be a whole lot better than this year. So if we play the projected game as we were discussing yesterday with water and sewer, if you think about it, the long game is in this situation, being it's a monetary value of where it's at right now, being so low, the end game actually is in our favor, because next year we have to reassess it because we have to re-vote on it. I'm not gonna do an agreement like this without being voted on, because previous years, and I'm sure Joe would say the same thing, I thought it was always just a good faith donation. It's not, it's a true agreement. And if this agreement gets deviated, we have to legally do it right. That's our obligation as a board.
everything else.
Just like everything
So
else.
who holds our seat on that board?
There are 2 people from the Village of Elsie and 3 from DuPage Township. I don't have names with me right now, but I can go get them if you want them.
I don't know. I would assume that it would allow us to have a seat.
Absolutely.
We, like, when they have a vacancy, they
The
come
board
to,
members are,
they come to Duplain with a recommendation from Duplain Township. They do the same with you, and they have been for years.
right. There are 2 board members from the Village of Elsie that have been okayed and approved by your board, and 3 from DuPage Township. And those are the ones representing.
Right. So, same. I didn't know that as either, but I agree. And if that's something that we yearly would like to discuss, that's fine. But I can tell you that if that's the case and someone wants a seat, then we need to commit to it. And if you want the seat, then you commit to the seat. That's why I'm thinking that it's done the way it's done, because it's probably hard to find people to sit in those seats. So,
Volunteers are harder and harder to get.
One of the board vice president is here tonight. I'm sorry.
She's like, you threw me under the bus!
No, Paul is here. The president couldn't come, something happened where they had some personal stuff come up, they couldn't come, you know, it was an emergency. So it's understandable. But, the board members are, you know, they come almost every, I can say they all come every month, but they don't. But they're really good about what's going on. Then Jason came to the last one, so he kind of saw what was going on and how it was run. And, you're running pretty much like you did.
I do have something to say. Today, I dealt with 2 homeless people that were in a physical altercation yesterday. The county handled for me, not for me, but for the residents of Elsie. And they advised that they were going down to the park to get warm. And I could not get them into the shelter down in Lansing until tomorrow. But they told me that you and your staff was going to help them first thing tomorrow morning. They were waiting for the library to open up. You know, when stuff like that happens, it's like, man, you know, it's really beneficial to have that library where somebody can to go and to get resources regarding the homeless shelters or any type of
And also
resource.
food resources.
And Patty, she's made up.
Miss Patty, that's what they said,
Yeah,
Miss Patty was
Patty's the
helping
one,
us.
she makes up these things for people who might need them if they're homeless.
well, and they commented that you guys give them coats and
Yeah,
blankets.
and
Baby
hats
wipes.
and mittens, and, yeah, we really try hard.
I
So-
guess we're just frustrated, everybody's just frustrated, you know, because we went from having no money to really not still having money and, you know, nobody was willing to give us a helping hand, you know, in the village of Elsie. And now we're doing this by ourselves and we're pushing the charge, and it's like, we can't go back to our old ways where we give everybody money. It just can't happen anymore. So,
And you're right with the volunteers, we've had 4 firefighters leave this year.
But, and this building,
yeah,
Plain Township shares it with you, and there's no money involved.
Well, at the meeting, Ann's utility bill for the month was almost $1,000
$1,000.
for 1 month.
And we pay that.
And and the library pays the heat here for the entire building.
So I
Plain
think,
Township does the building maintenance.
I think at this point, I think that we should make a motion, if someone supports it, and then I think we should do a roll call vote and see where it falls. So,
Well, I'll motion to pay the $1,500 for the original agreement.
I second that.
motion has been made and seconded. Roll call vote.
Jason Freeman.
Aye.
Dorothy Dormouse. Todd Carroll.
Aye.
Mark Howell.
Nay.
Cory.
Nay.
Sam Frank.
Nay.
Joe Otterstein.
Aye.
So at this point, it is a deadlock tie. Mine is the breaker.
You're the breaker.
So I say we pay it. I make it pass. Motion carried.
When are the library meetings?
They're on the third Wednesday at 7.
Thursday.
Oh, Wednesday.
Oh, it is Wednesday.
I do want to say thank you very much for all you guys do. I do not want to take anything away from that by any means, and I do
And I understand
appreciate
where you're coming from.
everything you do. It's from the perspective of everything that's happened in the last 2 years, essentially.
It's rough.
It's hard to pick and choose
Yeah.
where you say yes, where you say no. It's a much fairer line to say no right now. And
Well, and those have got us pretty far.
Correct.
So, and I completely agree, so. But, you know, unfortunately, I think it was something that, long run, you know, this buys us a year. Let's see what we look like next year. We'll reassess it next year and we'll go from there.
I respect the result.
One thing, inaction steps that we do need to address too, we do have to set the water and sewer rates. We need to discuss and decide, so.
That's what I wrote down. Rates.
So at this point, during the meeting, my biggest takeaway was, you know, at this point, with us going for a substantial potential grant that we're going after, if we don't get said good percentage of grant, there's gonna be some significant rate increases down the road. So in my opinion, at this point, I think we raise it what was proposed from Joe, basically shaking down to the dollar per thousand.
On each side.
On each side.
$1 and a penny on the sewer.
Yeah, dollar and a penny,
And
sorry.
it wasn't this Joe.
No.
Wasn't this
Different
Joe?
Joe
Different
from
Joe.
Water.
But
Can I ask something? So, I'm really ignorant of this, so this is probably a dumb question, anyway.
No such
There's
thing.
no such
So,
thing.
we live in town, and we pay water and sewer, but there's people outside of town right there, and they use our sewer.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, they could have dug their own, but they don't.
They
use
can't.
ours.
They-
Well, they
They
can't.
can't.
See, that's what I needed to hear,
Yeah,
okay.
and they do pay for sewer.
They do pay for sewer.
They do pay for sewer.
extra for sewer considering they're outside of town and using our sewer, but no.
But
But
this proposed rate right now that we're discussing, it is going to stabilize their rate to be equal to your rate. They're not gonna get a discount anymore because they're not using our water, so they need to pay the same rate. So what we're gonna do is, they're gonna pay the ready to serve rate just like you, and the rates will be the same with a dollar and a penny rate increase, basically. And same on the water side. So basically, we were approached with a significant raise. At this point, I don't feel it's necessary. I don't feel it's time. So I think at this point, it basically is a 6%, I believe is how it proposed.
Yeah.
Do we, make any changes to the meter aspect.
I'm not ready to do that.
I think there has to be
Because
some
I think we need
serious
to be more
discussion.
knowledgeable about that
I-
first.
And the school valve is 8 inches.
Which is like 3 inches over.
Is it,
No, it's a 3 inch.
it's a 3 inch.
Oh,
It's a 3-inch meter.
Somebody said 8.
The water main,
Water.
what's the water main?
Oh, the water main might be 8.
Yeah, the water comes off an 8 inch.
But
The meters is 3.
It's only a 3-inch
So-
meter.
I think before we go willy-nilly, his explanation about a lot of that is some of those people have a long dedicated run. So let's pretend Hancock got water from us. I don't know if they do or not. But that would be a long run that only services them, and that's why they charge more for the bigger valve, because they're on that long run. If they're gonna shoulder the load for the portion of main that they're using, they need to pay a bigger rate. Well, the school's just at the end of the road. They're not paying for a length of run that's dedicated specifically to them. I don't think it would be bad to charge them more, but 10 times is ridiculous.
I definitely think we should have a conversation with maybe even their board
For sure.
and find out if we can come to some sort of agreement. I obviously don't want to charge them 10 times. Like
No, but I do agree it
That's a
should
lot
be
of money.
more.
Oh, I
But
agree
it's
too.
drastically
So-
going
so
to
what-
affect their budget.
What I think we should do is I think at this point, right now, I think we should do the rate increase the way that it was discussed, the minimal. And then what we do is we get his copies of the proposed indifference of charge for valves and meter size indifference.
And find out where those valves are.
Find out, get with Chris, see who is what, where, because I don't know, who knows what valves could be where other than Chris, but if somebody has a 3-inch and they're not utilizing the difference for the water consumption, and we throw a 10-time rate increase at them, that's bad, in my opinion. So I
But
think,
there's only one with a 3-inch, and that was the school.
Well, there's only one active 3-inch.
Right.
Correct.
right. But then there was, what, 2-inch or 3 2-inch, and then there was 1.5 inches, right?
There's an inch and a half.
Majority
Yeah,
of
I don't know
our,
the numbers off that, man.
There's like 4 1-inch.
So there was, it would be a total difference of what did he add up, like 14 different?
18 different ones aside from the standard 3/4.
Correct.
3/4, right?
So if we were to do that, it would be 18 different water bills that would take a substantial increase. And right now, I don't think is the time that we do that.
I
Agreed.
think we should.
But I think-
over the course
I
of the
think
year.
now is the time to start having these conversations with
And
these
plan
people.
for it.
Yeah, so that.
Not just with us, I think we need to reach out to the people that have these and have these conversations and try to come up with a reasonable
Plan.
compromise.
Well,
that
and just
results
like
in a
Joe
plan.
said, if we did two, and plan it out for 5 years, then it's that 10 times, but it's only 2 times 5. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Where they're not taking that 10 time hit, they're doing 2 times, 5 times over.
Now, and
But even still, that's,
another thing he brought up last night that was very, very interesting that I had never thought about until he brought it up was the apartments.
that's all gonna fall on how he structures the building.
But that falls on us,
Conversation before he
that
gets.
falls on us to make that
Right.
decision.
It falls on us to make the conversation, to make the decision, to come to a mutual
Because
agreement.
we don't have an ordinance that governs anything like that.
We do not.
And he's already started construction, so you couldn't pull a switch on him now.
Mhm.
But it would be a good conversation to have.
But if we did a rate increase, then it could generate the change. We can't just throw a switch and say, oh, this is what we're doing now.
Correct.
So,
I do agree, right now we need to vote on doing the dollar on the water, dollar on the penny on the other side. And I think right now, we need to start having these conversations. with-
well, and our village manager in her free time, the abundance of free time that she has,
You almost got punched.
I'm waiting for it.
It's a little punch.
He won't
Taser.
hit you here.
Taser. I think what we do over the next course of a few months is we put together a strategic plan, and then I think we get 2 or 3 board members together and create, a presentation to present the schools or whoever else has the meters. Put together a list of who has the larger meters, come up with a plan of what their charge is gonna be, and then we go from there.
And I mean, honestly, we're gonna see Mark Horrock at that meeting. Might not be a bad idea to just,
Well, it might be something that they're emotionally
Ask
prepared
him
for,
what
because
his
it's already
thought was.
happened to them elsewhere.
I'm sure. Well, and you have to assume that they're, you know, with Leonard, it had to have quadrupled. Because if that's how they strategically planned
well,
it,
the water itself went up, let alone, I'm sure they did something similar with
sewer.
the main aspect.
They did not increase their rate of serve. Their rate of serve on that floor was $16.
Yeah, they pay, time and a half because they're not in the city of Ovid. So they pay 1.5% more for the bigger meter. Is how I was explaining
That's
tonight.
more than $16.
No, that's just the ready to serve. They're paying
Oh, so
more
they're paying
per
more.
volume.
Oh, they're paying more on the
Probably
gallon.
paying more on,
Oh, okay.
yeah, their volume is probably
Yeah.
substantially more than the serve side.
Yeah, we're.
But where we determined for us, again, because we're not over,
Right,
for us, we had to have the ready to serve where it's at. We can't do a little one because we need the funds.
Correct.
We're behind times.
We're way behind.
and you can't, I mean, as hard as it is, what are we gonna do if our infrastructure fails? Like, I understand people complain, they've been complaining for the last 2 to 3 years about this, but the bottom line is this, we are spending a significant amount of money on this infrastructure. And like I told a few council members today, yeah, you guys sit behind that table and yeah, you address problems, but Chris and I are the ones that have to deal with the employees complaining about it, about people coming into the office complaining about it. Kelsey takes how many phone calls a day?
Way too many yesterday.
And it's like, listen, we all have to work together. We all want the same thing. And as long as we make it to the target, let's make it to the target.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing is if I can get this appropriation money to cut that cost down so that we don't have to increase these water bills anymore. Or if we do the increases, they're not huge like they were last year at the 26%. Then we can all work together and move forward. But we can't compare ourselves to Ovid because Ovid had different issues than we
We
did.
can't compare ourselves over anyways.
Right.
You can't do that in anything. That's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
They're not a village even, they're a city, so things are different for them also. So we can't really compare to that, but it is nice to know what neighboring municipalities have their stuff set at, because, for sake of argument alone, it's handy to have. Like, hey, while we might be increasing this a little bit, we're still cheaper than so-and-so.
And I think the biggest takeaway that I had with the discussions, because I've met with Joe Nutt twice now, but the biggest takeaway for me is the fact that the smaller municipalities have to bear the brunt of
The brunt, yeah.
because there's only 424 houses.
Well, like the comparison
So-
between us and Bannister,
Yeah,
putting
47 homes, come on.
putting in the sewer line to come here would be astronomical for them.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, it wouldn't be, it'd still be super expensive, but
Yeah.
it would be, a lot more manageable than it would be for them.
So
So,
you can't spread $3 million across 40 houses and expect people to pay that.
yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
Correct.
Yeah, we need $500,000 per house.
Yeah, right.
I mean, so I would like a motion to raise the rates $1 on the water, $1.01 on the sewer per gallon.
I'll make that motion to raise $1 on penny on sewer, $1 on water.
Per 1,000 gallons.
Per thousand.
I say per gallon, my
Per
God.
I can't make that motion. If my wife sees that, in a minute, you're getting water, you're getting.
I'll second.
You'll take the punch for that?
Did you get that in the notes?
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in the
Do
footnotes
it.
there.
But let's do a roll call vote on this one as well, please.
When am I gonna write
Oh,
things down?
Corey's gonna have to say no out loud.
As long as everybody else says yes, I'll say no. Okay?
Jason Freeman,
Aye.
Dorothy Ornelas,
Aye.
Todd Carroll.
Aye.
Mark Hout,
Aye.
Corey Wett,
Aye.
Sam Frame,
Aye.
Joe Underside.
With resentment.
Regrets.
With regrets, yes.
I think we should change the order from when we do this now, because you should always vote last.
Last.
It's required.
Should I have?
Yeah, you probably should.
Do
No,
that? Okay.
Yeah.
That, Joe wants.
Joe just wants to be first.
I just want to be first.
I just,
And then he'll pause and then say yes.
I'm left-handed, so I go from left to right.
So the motion
Down
is
here.
carried. Yes, sir, I'll be there next week. Motion passed.
Now,
And that's why.
Cause I know, and she's great about it.
Public comment. Yes, ma'am.
I have a couple things. You know, they had that tornado in Union Lake this
Yeah.
last week, and there were no tornado warnings. They had no tornado warnings at all prior to that tornado hitting them and wiping out that whole section of property where those people were killed. Now they're saying they're not gonna have the tornado warnings go up until May?
The test.
April.
The test. Okay, the
The
test is.
system is active.
April
system-
4th.
Yep, the system still works, the system's up and active.
Okay, so
But
if
they're
a
gonna
tornado
start-
came through, it would
It
go
would.
off?
Yes, they would go off, but they're gonna.
If they find it in time to activate the
Right.
sirens to
Well, that's
get,
what I was wondering. because
that's
if
the biggest
they're-
issue with tornadoes.
if
A
it was
tornado
still
can drop
working,
so
right. I
fast.
just wanted to make sure it was still working. Okay, because that's scary to think that. you know,
April-
here-
April 4th is
It's
when
a
the
test.
testing, they will do April 4th at noon.
Okay.
They will be
All right.
doing,
Well,
starting
we're always
testing
here,
through
we
the
can hear
summer.
it, so we'll know whether or not it went off. But just to think that those poor people had no idea that there was a tornado even coming at them. That's just.
Right. Well, and the bad thing then, in that situation too, being on the water like
Yeah.
that, it could have been a water spout
Oh,
that
yeah.
wasn't even registered, and then all of a sudden it's an F3, and
That's true. Yeah.
they might not have even had time to throw the
Right.
switch.
Now, the other thing I want to bring up, when it got nice out last week, and I don't know, I haven't been walking because I hurt my knee in September, but I needed to start walking again. So I started walking, and I see all this stuff in the gutter. I picked up 10 soaking wet newspapers and threw them away. They're out there in the garbage can. Sorry, Chris. Anyway, and then on the way back, I found more stuff out. I mean, the gutters are full of just junk and leaves and stuff like that. And I know when it rains really hard, especially in the spring, it's hard for the water to get down into the sewer because they're.
Are you
kind of-
saying the storm
the
drains
storm
when you
drains,
say
yeah,
gutters?
Yes.
I think the gutters on a building.
Okay, are
Storm
really
drains.
nasty, okay, the curves, where the
Okay.
curves are, okay, I know all the streets don't have curves, only the main streets have curves, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, they're, some of them are really, really full, and I don't know if it's something that they, I
I'm
know it's
sure,
not, it's gonna get nasty again. It's
right,
pretty-
and I'm sure it's on their radar, you
Yeah.
know, with the water meter situation and the time crunch there and the short staff.
And I'm trying to keep the newspapers out of the storm drains. There you go.
Is there a street sweeper anywhere around that we can?
We
rent or
used
borrow? I know we
to
used
rent.
to.
We hired one like once or twice a
We
year.
hired or rented?
you rent it, you used to rent it every other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we rented it?
Yep.
Something else we could do, and I guess this would have to start at the council level to approve or be okay with. We used to do it for Dairy Fest when I first got on the fire department. We used to wash down the streets also. That was something that, I know the streets always, and we've gotten away from it, but the streets always look really nice for Dairy Fest. I don't know if that's something the village would be okay with, because we'd obviously be using a substantial amount of water to do that. But that could definitely be something we could probably organize to do.
You know, you sit on the board, so all you have to do is talk to your board and make a recommendation.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, okay, you make the motion.
I'll make a motion to talk to the fire department.
Yes.
Possibly washing the street.
I'll second.
Any streets with curves. Any streets with curves, I'll say.
So would they use the brush truck? Is that what they used
We
to use?
used to use the brush truck and tankers. Sometimes we just.
Are
open
they
the
gonna
side.
have the equipment to still do that?
What do you mean?
Well, they don't have the one tanker anymore, correct?
We have a tanker.
Okay,
Tanker.
so they still have the capabilities of doing it.
Correct, yeah.
So why don't we, before we make a vote, why don't we talk to the fire department?
Yeah.
See if they'd be willing to do it, and then
Since the
we'll
guy that
sort
told
of-
me to make a motion. It was a trap. The whole thing was a trap. That was my original plan, was to see if there was any interest essentially here, being okay supplying the water to
I can
produce.
feel the hair on the back of his neck.
I ain't scared of nothing. There ain't no hair in the back of my
Oh
neck
my
stand.
God.
So let's do it that way.
Okay, I will talk to my
Good.
chief about it and
see if we can come up with something.
Excellent.
As long as you guys are in agreement that you would be tentatively, as of right now, okay using the water to wash
Didn't
out
the Dairy
streets.
Festival used to come down and ask about that?
Yeah, they used to.
Now they got-
Well, maybe,
Well, they've got all new people though,
Yeah,
on
they're all
board now, and maybe
so
that
they
got-
maybe don't even realize that we used to
Yeah.
do it. So. But yeah, I think that's great. Let's, oh,
It's got-
he's gonna want the basketball hoops.
Oh,
As a member of the Dairy Festival Committee, noting that it's moved ahead a month,
Yeah.
I would like to formally request
There you
no.
go.
Oh, gosh.
Wow, look at this.
Wow.
that trustee Witt
Yeah.
contacts the chief of fire department about spraying on the streets.
Good job, Corey. That's two you get to do now.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm gonna run over real quick and test the tornado siren.
Yeah, do it.
Right now.
No, it's fine.
Bad time.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, yes,
I
ma'am.
want to thank Dusty for trying to help us get our stuff back from Owasso. We had a patron come in and take quite a few items and they never brought them back. And she's been working, trying to get them back, but too late. Now they gotta pay for them.
Still trying.
I know, yeah. But, yeah, I already reordered them.
Well, I still gotta hold them accountable, right?
That's right, that's right. Take them to court.
Tase 'em.
Any other public comment? Oh, yes, sir.
Douglas on Oak Street. They have two topics. With some exceptions of the proposal that our family put together for Hero Park, how do I go about getting the information to someone so that some corrections can be?
Okay, so what is it you want?
There was information that was submitted to the village by my family,
Right.
and we've noticed that it did not get satisfied the way it was put together.
There's something
So-
wrong?
There you go.
Yeah.
So how do I go about doing that?
Well, you could just ask me about it, and I'll be glad to talk about it. I don't even know what you're talking about because you didn't say anything.
I'm just asking what the process
Right.
is.
Talk to you.
Just asking the process.
Right, because I thought we had it all fixed, because we went by the paper that you gave us.
I'll get with you and show you what it
There
is.
must be something wrong with that, and I'm glad to fix it.
Okay. Second item on behalf of the Lions Club here in Elsie, I have a question about the flags for the cemetery. Is that already satisfied for this year or not? The veteran flags? for the-
Yes, I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
It is?
I feel like somebody donated them last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay,
Steve Melvin.
Yes.
Yeah, from the Melvin Agency, he donated them.
okay, all right. So I'll leave a letter with you for your consideration for the future, that the Lions Club would be open to funding that annually, if you want to consider that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
One more thing, Doug, while you're here. We've had a few people call and ask about the cemetery cleanup. Didn't, at one time, we have a committee that would do that? Does anybody know?
But you
Tom
said
Drake would do
it was
it.
the town, it was the council.
It was the council, we put together a day and everybody.
They just set a date when we would have, they posted it, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I think they stuck it in the paper
It's usually the first week.
saying that
Okay.
an annual cemetery cleanup day is,
Why are we gonna do that? That's what I'm
Oh,
asking.
this is March.
they usually have it done
Yeah.
before Memorial Day,
Yeah.
There's some people that have
usually in
requested,
April.
we've been asking because they want to go and put the flowers out there, but they want to do it after it's been cleaned up.
Right, because they don't wanna.
They don't want you guys to take
I
the new
It's
thing.
usually done in April, it's the
Yeah.
cleanup
Well,
day.
we
What
should
used to
probably
be.
set-
We should set a day.
Yeah, I should set that.
Well, the first Saturday's before.
Because they usually post it in the paper so people can go up and get what they want off the grave
Yep.
site.
If we said that though, I'm sure somebody at the Meridian could probably put something in there saying that they're doing it.
Wait.
So,
The weekend of the 4th is actually Easter weekend,
Now you
so
wanna do it then?
I don't think we should do it that
Next
weekend.
weekend's the 11th.
The weekend after that would be the 11th. Yep.
All flowers should be reviewed.
Right.
Well, and if we do it, we could set an early, start it at like
28.
You wanna do it in March?
That's spring break.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
would
there's gonna be a lot of people trying to help.
I would be in
I think it's gotta be April 11th.
Alabama by the time that happens. I'll be in Alabama that Friday.
Hopefully it's not a snowstorm.
Well, what does everybody's 18th look like?
I don't
That
have-
might get us a little bit better weather.
Kids got soccer.
Football.
I know.
I've been gone every weekend.
I got nothing on the calendar right now, so
On the
you
18th.
better set something, because that can change quick.
Plus she'll have her kids, so we'll have additional help, so all the resources available. So let's set it that April 18th for cleanup.
Fair? I bring a golf cart and
Bring your
trailer
own hot dogs and grill, right?
Sure,
Okay.
why not?
What time do we wanna start at? 9 a.m.?
I think they used to start at 10.
10?
The earlier the better.
Joe's got gun
Joe.
smoke at 9, so.
Oh, yeah.
So
Let's.
So let's set cemetery cleaning at 10.
We'll Marshall Dillon.
You gonna be able to make that?
It'll be rough, but I'll get there.
All right,
I
cool.
won't be at a
She
soccer.
might be at 11:30.
You will be at?
Yeah, it starts at 10 o'clock.
So, no.
I mean, we're not gonna be
That's
able
no for you?
to set everybody, but.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you can come after.
Okay,
So I'll make a motion to do cemetery cleanup on April 18th
at 10 a.m.
at 10 a.m.
Motion's been made and seconded to have cemetery cleanup April 18th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We should probably get that on our sign,
Yeah?
that big sign out
I
front.
will. She's been slacking
You
on
can put
that.
headstones and be like cemetery cleanup.
You know, there's just.
Just find it
things
over,
that I could do.
find it over Halloween.
You know how much of a pain it is to get onto that computer and actually do all that stuff for that little sign? Like,
Keegan,
upgrade
Keegan used
software.
to do it just fine.
Keegan must have a little more time back there or something.
Any other public comment?
Can I ask one question about the park update? Are they considering updating the playground? Because the pylons have been under the ground for 10 years. Is that part of it?
It is part of the public park.
We haven't been able to use it in 10 years when I homeschool. So like, once the school is in session, it makes it much harder. So I'm just super excited that that's part of it. because
It is,
it's-
yep.
it's been
He's
unsafe
put
for
together
10
a
years.
great.
I wasn't sure if that's
Second
part
or
of it.
third year one?
It is.
Okay, so I'm super excited that it's part of it. I was curious. Thank you.
Yep, it is, including a lot of the mulch area, all of it, so.
Well, so if there's something intermittently we could do short of
I
replacing all
don't
the
think you
stuff.
could without resinking the pylons. I mean, they're out of it now.
keep
And all
covering
they do is they keep pushing the gravel in every time I check it. And that's still not safe. If a kid falls on it and hits their head, they're still hitting a concrete pylon.
I remember the toys I had as a kid, playground equipment, that thing that spins off, teach you how.
And it explodes.
No helmets?
And no
Never.
helmet.
I feel like
It explains a lot.
These are
the people you have responsibility.
If you want to use it.
Well, maybe what we can do is also when the weather breaks and the frost comes out completely and everything is set and the weather's good, maybe we could get our park committee together and
I was just
an
curious though.
assessment.
If it's something that is involved, that's great. I love it.
Well, whoever decided to put pea gravel in there was ridiculous.
Why didn't they put mulch?
I don't know.
We're gonna bring mulch this one in. They want me to.
Destiny made mention of the fact of setting up a ordinance committee meeting. Do we want to do that?
For the end of the month.
We can do that.
Thinking maybe July?
Nope, I'll be camping.
I could do the 19th in the evening. That's a Thursday. Destiny wanted Thursday last time, correct?
I can actually do that one.
So we could set it for the 19th at 6 p.m. Does that work?
6:30.
6:30? So you meet?
6:30, 7?
Nobody wants to
You could
crash
just
in.
request somebody to bring you food.
Well, I make all the dinners at our house and I like to eat.
Okay. Don't want your family missing out.
I've never gotten an invite.
No, you don't.
No.
You always bring the smoker right down to the office.
You could have a family little get together down there.
Okay, so we'll set that March 19th, 6:30 p.m. Okay, set. Any other public comment? Yes, sir.
Hi.
Thank you for all your help
yeah.
too.
David on Oak Street. I wanted to address a few things. would like to speak all my words before being interrupted. Council, you guys have been doing great with some of the things that you've done, but I've noticed some discrepancies in how we've been operating these meetings. Robert's Rules of Order say that you shouldn't be debated or combative or address people or members of the community during the public comment section. So I'd like you guys to just try to follow that. And, you know, maybe these meetings could be a little bit more productive, a little bit faster, and not run on as long. Additionally, I wanted to talk about the code violations. So the code violations, I was excited to hear that you guys actually are enforcing those. That's actually good news to me. I've been looking at starting a business in the area, and it's been hard to acquire property. And seeing that there's so much vacant property here in the village, and none of it's available for lease or rent. I haven't actually engaged many of the business owners. I'm doing preliminary business plan right now. But it's kind of disheartening to see that most of these buildings probably should be, you know, condemned. And I would rather see them be improved. With that, I would like for the council to start looking to our future a little bit more. I would like to hear you guys' ideas or future thoughts on a plan for a future 5-10-year plan, or submit a motion to study to create a said plan, often known as a comprehensive plan or a master plan. I think that would help the village of Elsie understand our intention and the direction that we're going in, as well help us identify those barriers that are going to prevent us from getting there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, didn't I see somewhere in the budget about a master plan set up?
Yes, you did. Capital improvements plan.
So there is a master plan. It hasn't started in the works, but it's in the plans for this fiscal year.
We actually asked David if he'd help us with that since they're 20 to 30,000.
I would be open to joining the council or something like that to participate in making that plan, but I know it's not a one-man thing. So that's why I suggested maybe motion to study for that.
Sure.
I'd like to address the Roberts rules for a second. Well, I absolutely agree with you as far as most of that. I do feel in a smaller community, let me reiterate. I do agree with the combative aspect of it. I'm not gonna say I'm great, because I'm not. And I don't think anybody here is always perfect. Miss Dorothy's usually pretty decent. Sometimes she gets fired up too. But I do agree that, you know, the combative aspect of it needs to really back off. As far as addressing people in the crowd, in the smaller community, I have a hard time with that. Because first off, for the most part, we all know each other to an extent. I mean, obviously I know some people better than some others. Also, in the interest of productivity, if we encourage people to come here and ask questions, and those questions come during the comment section. And if I'm not allowed to address said questions.
Actually, sorry, I'm gonna pause you for a second.
Interrupt.
Pause, interrupt. Actually, so the way that a meeting is actually supposed to actually run, we don't have to listen to any comment in any section until public comment. If we were to do that, that's an injustice to our public, is how I feel.
Agreed.
That's why we paused and allowed Ann to speak. We don't have to do that.
I know.
So that's why we allow that. So there's give and take. So we allow that portion of it. You know what I mean? We engage in public, yes we do. But if someone's gonna address us, I would rather address them back, or we stand mute for 3 minutes, you have your 3 minutes, and then we're cutting you off. That's how the rules are. So if you wanna play that rule, we can play that game. But I would rather take Corey's aspect as well as also. I would rather have engagement at all times, every minute of engagement. And if you have a question, raise your hand or say, hey, make eye contact, be like, I would love to. And that's how I think it should go in a small municipal.
And that's where I was getting to that is I believe it's more, while I agree, the structure aspect of it is fantastic. But I also feel like that's more of like a Lansing setting where you have hundreds of people sitting in on these meetings. When we have 20, 30 people sitting here, I think it's a lot more personable and a lot more effective to be able to have a conversation. And I am very big on communication. And go ahead.
I feel like I'm being lectured a little bit again, to be honest. That's a feeling. But I do understand where you guys are coming from. It is productive during your meetings and stuff, but during public comment time, I've seen you guys all take a moment to give a lecture, around an event that happened in town, and it no longer was following Robert's rules at that point. That was time for people to be heard. We don't want to be lectured during that time. I understand there's frustrations and stuff. It can be hard to hear things at times, but I feel like we've done a disservice to our public by, treating them with that disrespect and not letting them feel like they could approach you and be heard. I think that's where I'm coming from on that. I do like that you guys openly talk about everything. I've been engaging the community and the village more. I want to improve the town, and I understand you guys do too, or else you wouldn't be in that position. But the most disheartening statement I heard was that it wasn't worth it for you guys to be on the council for the money that you got. And the public perception of that was not good, and it was during a time that felt like a lecture to us, when that's not normally how those happen.
Is this one where you want me to rebuttal, or do you want me to answer something? Because the statement as far as.
If you want to talk after, I think that would be great. I don't think we need to do this all during the meeting.
Nope, I completely understand that. As far as addressing the public afterwards, those lectures and stuff, while I agree they don't need to happen, a lot of the comments from the people are questions. They're more question-based than they are statement-based. They're not, I feel this way, I feel this way. It's usually, I feel this way, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And that's where the rebuttal comes into play. Realistically, by Robert's rules, you can ask the questions all you want, and I should sit here and not say a word.
And I totally understand
And
that.
all that is gonna do, I feel that makes it worse, because now the public feels like they're not getting any answers.
So, I mean, it's a two-way street.
I agree, I hate how the school does it. They do it like public comment right in the middle, and then you have no chance to talk about anything that happened in the meeting. You have to talk about something that happened a moment ago when you do your public comment, and I just, personally, I don't agree with that. But- Oh, you're right, they did add a second one.
No, she said she has two comments now.
No, the school does. The school do two public comments.
I also personally will stop the timer if we do start speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, by law.
I don't wanna take away from the.
The Open Meetings Act, it is in there. If we start speaking up here, then we have to pause.
Okay, if you have to use your old timer, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not supposed to make any motions if it's not on the agenda.
Gotcha.
That's true.
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, what are we doing?
One more.
Dan's got something.
Justin Paulus with the baseball. He talked to me the other day, and he could be right. He wants to know if they did the work and paid for it, if they could bring the fence in on one of the back baseball fields. Because he said we have little leaguers out there, and the back center is farther than the high school's back center, and they want the kids to hit the balls. They were wondering if they did everything, if they were allowed to make that change.
That's something that we have to look at.
I told him I was like, it's probably gonna be a park committee meeting and stuff like that, but he just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Sure. We can make it an action step at the next month meeting.
Yeah, and I'll let him know.
And it's coaching.
Anybody else?
Any other public comment?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Support.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Hey.